and there it connects with the facial nerve nucleus. So when you try to touch it, okay, and then what happens? You blink, you close your eyes, so that innervates the facial nerve, and the facial nerve innervates this orbicularis oculi muscle, and orbicularis oculi muscle would contract, and you would have a constriction, and you would close your eyes. So you had, that's a, what is that? That's a corneal reflex. A corneal reflex has two arms or two limbs. One, the afferent limbs, is received by the infratrochlear branch of the ophthalmic. Okay, that receives that information to the brainstem, and the motor comes with what? Facial nerve, and then it contracts or activates the orbicularis oculi muscle. So that's a reflex arc. But one of the important things of this reflex arc is that this corneal reflex is that it innervates in the brain area. It innervates the two facial motor nucleus, both right and the left at the same time. So on the right, if you do it on the right, okay, so facial nerve would come and constrict on the right side. But however, it also innervates on the left side, so left facial nerve also comes in and innervates the left orbicular. So when you have a stimulus on one side, your both eyes would constrict, or your both orbicularis oculi muscle would contract. You would blink both eyes at the same time. Okay, so that's that. So these are the superficial nerves. Okay.
There's one great article.
Okay, so next, let's look at the blood vessels. So these are the superficial nerves. Okay, so let's look at the blood vessels. Okay, let's. So the arteries we have. So we have the one facial artery. Okay, facial artery. And then we have the superficial temporal. Okay. So basically, the facial and the superficial temporal supplies most of the facial areas. And then we also have, what else do we have? The maxillary supplies the deep parts of the face. So facial and superficial temporal supplies the superficial areas. Okay, facial and superficial temporal supplies the superficial areas of the face. However, the maxillary supplies the deep part of the face. Okay. So this is superficial temporal. Everybody look at your own model, please. Try to find the superficial temporal. Superficial temporal artery. So what is superficial temporal artery? Superficial temporal artery. Everybody show me. Superficial temporal, everybody show me. Okay, you got it, right? Okay. So superficial temporal. How about you guys? Okay, good. Superficial temporal is what? It's a terminal branch of external carotid. Terminal branch. So we have two terminal branches of external carotid, superficial temporal and maxillary. Okay, so external carotid gives off two terminal branches, superficial temporal and maxillary. These are the two terminal branches of the external carotid artery. So this is superficial temporal. And superficial temporal, as you can see, it gives off several branches like frontal, temporal, parietal. It gives off these branches and supplies the frontal, parietal, temporal and parietal areas. Okay, so this is superficial temporal. It also gives off this branch here. This branch is transverse facial. So we have transverse facial, and then we have frontal, temporal, and parietal branch of the superficial temporal artery. Okay. The other is facial, as you can see. This is facial artery here. It basically crosses the mandible here on the side here, as you can see, and it also is very closely associated with it. It's also closely associated with the submandibular gland. This is submandibular gland here. Okay, this is facial, as you can see. So facial becomes superficial, crosses the mandible, and that comes from the anterolateral part of the face. That's the facial. Now facial from here, it gives off, what branch does it give off? Submental. Okay, it gives off submental. Actually, submental is given off like beneath the chin. Okay, so that's submental. Should be somewhere around here, submental. Okay, so the first branch that gives off is submental, beneath the chin, and then it gives off inferior labial. It gives off two labial branches, inferior labial, superior labial. So inferior labial, it gives off to the lower lip. Superior labial, it gives off to the upper lip. So this is superior labial, inferior labial, superior labial. Okay, and here it continues, as you can see, it gives off what we call as the angular. Right, this is the angular, and here is the lateral nasal. So this is the angular. Okay, lateral nasal, superior labial, inferior labial, and submental over here. So these are the what? The branches of the maxillary artery. So everybody show me the angular artery. Show me the angular artery in your model. Angular artery. Good. Show me. Good. Show me. Good. Okay. All right. You show me too. Okay, good. All right. So that's angular. Good. So one of the important things that you need to remember is that the facial, you see this facial as it passes, crosses the mandible, okay, the body of the mandible, it has these tortues. It has these circular or winding course. So it has a zigzag course, okay. Why is that? What can you say about that? So it's not straight, right? It has these zigzag or tortuous course.
Goes deep and superficial. It goes deep and superficial.
Mm-mm. Well, think about it. Your when you open your mouth, or
It stretches.
Yeah,
right,
it's-
right,
yeah.
it increases its dimensions. So you have to have that excess amount of length in order to compensate while chewing or while talking or while you're opening your mouth. That's why it's tortuous. That's why you have increased amount of length. It increases the length of the facial artery because it's on the mandible, and basically when you open it, so it widens and it shortens, widens, shortens. That's why it has this tortuous appearance. So that's facial artery. Okay. Okay, let's look at the venous drainage. Let's look at the venous drainage. So okay, let's look at the venous drainage first, and we're going to look at the danger triangle. So starting from here, we have the same vein here. We have the supratrochlear vein, supraorbital vein. Okay, here that drains the forehead area. Now these veins, as you can see, they drain into
Facial.
angular vein, right? This is the angular vein, and angular vein basically continues and then forms the facial vein. Okay, so this is the facial vein here. So if I tag it over here, this is facial, but here is angular. Okay, and again, you have the superior labial, same thing as artery, superior labial and inferior labial. They drain into the facial vein. Now, the important thing here is that you have this triangular shaped area, and this triangular shaped area is called the danger triangle. Why do we call it that? So that is, if we draw the boundaries, so it's like the corner